Have you seen a lot in the news lately about the real estate market and now you want to buy, you're done paying your landlord's rent? Well, here's 5 things to know while house hunting this spring in the Denver and the suburbs real estate market. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane, living in the Denver suburbs, eXp Realty. Super excited to bring you today's episode geared at buyers and helping you understand what is going on in our market while you're hunting so you can find that perfect hidden gem and get yourself into homeownership and moving on with your life. So first things first, the market is heating up, and regardless of what you heard or what the experts predicted, the market is definitely heating up. We're no longer seeing the $20,000 concessions and all of the things that the sellers were doing when things got a little bit tight, as far as, incentivizing the buyer. So the market is a little bit hotter. Those days of, seller paid 2-1 buy down and all of that has definitely, constricted a little bit. So the market is heating up. We are in the spring heading into the summer. This is traditionally our busiest time of the year. So it's a little bit of seasonal, but we have gotten extremely busy. I was talking to a lender friend of mine the other day, and she said that a lot of the people that are out in the market as real estate agents that are crushing it, are absolutely crushing it. There's still some agents that are, still getting back on their feet from the slower winter that was. So that's something to be aware of. And a lot of that has to do with market knowledge and, kind of just your psyche. Everyone's telling you the market's terrible as an agent. Sometimes you start to believe it when really there's winners and losers in every market, as we talk about all the time on this channel. So that's the first one. Market's heating up. Offer prices are much more conservative. So we're not seeing the $100,000 over asking. We're not seeing, double-digit offers. But I had a really nice listing this weekend, priced correctly. We had 20 showings, so the traffic was there. But people were just like, I don't like where the bedroom sits. I don't like the floor plan. I don't like this. I don't like the ceiling height. So buyers are still being a little bit picky when it comes to offers. But when those offers do come in, for instance, another colleague of mine had 9 showings and 4 offers, they're not being quite as aggressive. So $10,000, $15,000 over asking, about 2 or 3% is what I see on average. Take that for what it's worth as far as averages go. But so that's what's going on there is the offer prices are much more conservative and other terms are being utilized. So as far as, inspection terms or, maybe paying for some of the title costs or whatever those terms are, some of those are winning and they don't always have to do with money. So that's key. The next thing is the fast closing is always preferred. So if you could get pre-approved, we always talk about that and be ready to go. That's definitely amazing, as well as a lot of these homes are coming on Thursday and there's not a ton of inventory. So over the weekend, it's hard to get pre-approved. It's hard to get bank statements or, whatever from your financial people. So understand that getting pre-approved during the week and being ready for the weekend so that you are pre-approved so you can put an offer in. You're not, waiting up till Saturday night, scanning all your documents in and that kind of stuff is super important. The fast closing is always preferred, but people aren't handing post-closing occupancies out like Easter candy anymore. So that's something to really consider is what's your living situation? Are you able to do that? I had another colleague that offered on a home personally, and he said he thought he might have lost it because of the post-closing occupancy terms. And so that's also something that we're seeing is, without multiple offers or, if there's only 3 or 4 offers, maybe the lease is up and they have to move and there's not that free post-closing occupancy that we were seeing, handed out like candy at the beginning of this year and last spring and all the time. So that's something in a negotiation point for sure. And as always, the fourth thing is to know the market. And that just doesn't mean, this stuff and the multiple offers and the neighborhoods. It also means the lending market, because interest rates are changing. It's very volatile. The economic situation is very volatile. We do have a lot of reports that may affect the, interest rate coming out this week. If you're watching this, as upon release, that's something to consider. But if you're not, always something to consider is making sure going into that weekend, you're talking to the lender, making sure that interest rates haven't changed, because they're so volatile. They could change, half a percentage point if you got qualified 2 months ago or whatever and are still looking and having trouble finding that perfect home. So make sure you're aware of that market and hyper focus both on, your interest rate and what the costs are, because that monthly payment is of so much importance. We don't want to work so hard to find your dream home, get under contract, and realize like your monthly payment's unobtainable, or you're not qualified because the interest rate has changed so much, or, providing a false ceiling for you because the interest rate has dropped a little bit and you have a little more purchasing power if you would like to stay within that monthly payment. And so know the market, study it, make sure you have a quick conversation about it going into the weekend, as a lot of the homes come off the market in the weekend and a lot of the markets are closed in the weekend, and lenders are a little bit harder to get a hold of sometimes on the weekend if you're not using the very best. And the fifth thing to know when purchasing a home in Denver or anywhere is the process is extremely stressful. Today, I had a buyer say, we're talking about inspection and, options as far as, a furnace issue. And she said, Jeremy, can you remind me why I'm doing this? And my simple answer was, well, you're not going to spend $50,000 on rent and have nothing to show for it because you're purchasing a home for your family. And so she was like, okay, thanks. We'll talk to you soon. But understand that things get stressful. It seems like a lot of money when you're in it. That $3,000 furnace or whatever that might be. Just understand that it's a long-term investment. It's not day trading. It's about the security of owning a home. And we'll close out tonight with a little story. I just got off the phone today with a home I sold yesterday. The buyer's agent called me and said, hey, I just wanted to tell you that the buyer was literally in tears at the closing table because he was a fifth generation Mexican immigrant. So his family's been here for 5 generations and he's the very first person to ever purchase a home. And that was super powerful. He's like, he was literally in tears. He was hugging me, told me to say thank you to you and your seller for all that they did, because truly the dream did come true and he became the first homeowner, which is literally a family tree wealth building day, cornerstone of his family's trajectory is now that he's a homeowner. He has the opportunity to start building wealth and hopefully gain equity as he fixes the home up or whatever he wants to do, makes it his own. And, maybe he does want to stay there forever, or maybe he does want to move up. He has the ability to build equity, save money that way, as well as have something that's, consistent as far as his payment goes. So the dream of home ownership is real. It's still possible. Down payment assistance and all of those things, but understand that it's still that stressful process. And in the moment, sometimes you're like, oh, like I would just rather rent, and if my furnace breaks, the landlord will fix it. But that's not how it goes. So as always, Jeremy Kane, reach out anytime if you're interested in a buyer consultation or anything I can do for you to answer a question. Please comment below or reach out in the DMs or give me a text message. Would love to chat with you, especially if you're thinking about moving to Denver, and kind of prepare you for this market, because one of the things I'm absolutely dialed in on is the market, both in the lending side and the real estate side, as far as what's going on and what the predictions say. But as always, the predictions aren't always right. So if you have any questions, reach out always. If you're interested in the other side of the coin, I just did a video on setting your purchase price as a seller. You can check that out right here, and I look forward to talking to you soon. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.